So man, 4 days out from this fight with Canelo and Bud, I came across a video where everybody's kind of reacting to Bud's sportsmanship and how he was so nice to Canelo and his family after the fight. Gave the belts back, um, gave Canelo's daughter a high five, shook Canelo's wife's hand, and said a few more words to Canelo, and then he went on about his business. But I noticed in the comment section, people's thoughts or opinions of Bud Crawford changed from before the fight. I was seeing comments like, man, he's a really nice guy. Man, this guy is a really stand up dude, man. He not only is he a great fighter, he's a great person. A whole list of comments. And if y'all ever find the video, that's where Bud is giving the belts back, just check the comment section. But I want to speak to that Bud Crawford's character and how that defines who he is and his greatness. I agree with a lot of those comments. Not only is Bud a great athlete, a great boxer, but he is also a great person. But a lot of people didn't even care to ponder that or consider if he's a good person because of their racial um angle that they may have been taking to the sport, whether it may be their bias to a particular athlete, you know, that maybe is in opposition to Bud. And a lot of people just was ignoring Bud or didn't care about Bud Crawford's character and what he got going on. And when I first started watching boxing, I would hear a lot this people's champ, you know, um, quote out here, who's the people's champ? And there was a certain criteria that you had to meet in order to be considered a people's champ. You couldn't just be any and everybody, you know. And the whole time, though, for me, seeing Bud Crawford's career, his rise up to the top, he's always been a people's champ. You know, um, he's the all around, you know, entertainer and athlete in that boxing ring when we need him to be. And then outside the ring, he don't get into no trouble. So that every time there's another big fight scheduled, we ain't got to worry about him getting arrested. We ain't worried about him hitting his wife or um not being there for his kids. Nothing crazy, no drama. And I appreciate that about Bud Crawford, and that's a great reason why individually myself has been a fan of Bud Crawford all of these years. Because don't get me wrong, there's some fighters that I've been fans of for a certain period of time, and then I stopped. And it was largely in part due to not because of how they fought. It wasn't like it was something that changed in the boxing ring. A lot of times it's things that happens outside of the ring that changes my mind on supporting these boxers. Case in point, just to give a small example, um, I stopped messing with a lot of premier boxing champs some years back, and then it created a lot of broken relationships online, and you could say messing up certain bonds and friendships or whatever. But the character, the stuff that they was doing, the example that they was setting, I didn't see that a lot of those premier boxing champs were meeting the people's champ criteria, at least my criteria, you know. And the whole twerking on cam, and always wanted to be create, make a headline for the wrong reason, you know. Um, that's all that was taking place when I would think about the PBC. When I would, um, see what's going on that side of the street. And I used to look at, you know, because I'm a black man, so in America, and I would look at some of the people that would support them. I'd be looking at like y'all, like Ruben Guerrero. Y'all like this shit, you know. I was very very bothered by it because my spirit didn't fuck with it. The way that the stuff that they engage in, and um how they were more invested in outside stuff, but not being 100% dedicated to the boxing, boxing ring, getting in there and displaying their talent, wasting talent basically. But Bud Crawford didn't waste his talent. Bud didn't drink his talent away. He didn't smoke his talent away. He didn't, do performance enhancing drugs and set that type of example or that path. You know, when this guy just wanted to prove himself, those guys in the Premier Boxing Champs was talking about you on the wrong side of the street. You know, you ain't fought nobody. The whole time he trying to fight you, but your counter is you ain't fought nobody. All of them was doing that. You got the WBO, WB no. No, we don't mess with that belt. You know. Ultimate disrespect, you know. So I mean, we're talking about the attacks that Bud got, discrimination he didn't got from PBC, from the Hispanic fans when he had this Canelo fight. And what did he do at the end of all of that? He said, Canelo's a hell of a fighter. He's a true champion. Gave him his belts back. Gave his daughter a high five. Shook his wife's hand and left. That's the true American character, man. And when I seen the comments of the people saying that, man, hey, he's a nice guy. I didn't really know he was like this. Let me let a lot of y'all in on a secret. Black people in America are not hateful people, man. We may have issues and we may fight amongst each other and things like that, but it shouldn't be a shock that Bud Crawford is showing compassion to an op. He had every right to, you know, um, shit on Canelo after the fight. You know, after he said, "You fought nobody. You're nobody. You're like the rest of them." Disrespected him, right? All kind of stuff that he said. But Bud kept it classy. He kept it professional, and his character at the end showed you that I don't hate you. I don't wish nothing bad on you. You know. Same thing with the supporters of Bud Crawford. A lot of racist comments I had to deal with, but I don't hate y'all. That ain't my character. That's y'all's character. A lot of y'all got that in y'all spirit, in y'all heart. You know, Bud just wanted to put on for his family. You know, all odds against him. He was the B side. He accepted B side. You know, okay, I'll fight on somebody else's another race of people's holiday, Independence Day or whatever. Okay, man, for sure. I walk out first. You know, and get less money, get disrespected, have everybody against me, but I'm still come out on top. And when I do win, I'm gonna show respect. I'm gonna have class and I'm gonna have sportsmanship. That's Bud Crawford's character. You know, not trying to be racist and say fuck all Mexicans, fuck all white people, fuck all this. Um, he could go in on Max Kellerman if he wanted to. You know, the way Max was trying to set narratives and say that his legacy is nothing if he loses to Canelo. People was going to say, "Oh, As soon as he stepped up and fought a real, elite opponent, he lost. So therefore, everything he did before that is nothing. That was how they was setting up Bud. They were setting him up to fail, man, in a very, very major way. And Bud knew all of that. So he just embraced it. He embraced all of that, used it as fuel. And when he came out on top, he didn't diss Max. He didn't diss Canelo. He didn't do none of that. You know, he showed that he's a true champion. He's a people's champ. He ain't just for the culture, for the black people. He for everybody, man. You know, and it's so funny how, you know, say Bud Crawford's situation, with all the criticism he got from the hate he got from Mexicans, the Caucasians, all these people, right, that was, rooting against him. It's funny after when he wins, you know, now people want to share in his victory. And that's kind of the fucked up thing about being black in America. You can be talented. Soon as you win, oh, they want to join you in your victories, you know, but not really with you. Don't really support you. Don't really rock with you. It's the half-ass shit that black people got to deal with. People was hating on him, being racist, but as soon as he win, now people changing their tune. Oh, he's such a nice guy. Oh, he this, he that. You know, set a full trap for Bud Crawford for him to fail. When he passed the test, you know, now everybody want to be cool with him. But at the end of the day, it ain't no hate. You know, no harm, no foul. It's all good. And what Bud Crawford is showing that, you know, you can't stop what God got planned. You can't. You can hate. You can control the media. You do all of that, man. But like you say, the cream is always gonna rise to the top. And I feel like it was so much to put in place to distract Bud Crawford from not being successful. I didn't like when they sent Angel Reese back there. Why are you even back there before the fight? I can see after the fight, after he gets the victory. But people, even in the culture, man, they either not thinking or they under the authority of somebody else. Hey, yeah, go in there, take a picture with Bud real quick. Why are y'all going in there distracting this man when he got a major task in front of him? But you want to take a moment to get your pick, and so people can give you a bunch of likes or whatever. Say, oh yeah, he was with the champ. You know, so it's a lot of shit in the culture that I just can't stand, man. Can't stand it. And it ain't like Bud had just other cultures, nationalities of people against him. It's even people in the culture that's against him, man. You know, they just didn't want to support Bud Crawford, man. I'm one of the few people, in a small percentage online that was supporting Bud, but a lot of people wasn't really supporting Bud like that, because a lot of people are just under mind control. If the algorithm don't want you to support Bud Crawford, a lot of y'all not gonna support Bud Crawford. If the algorithm favors more Canelo or Spence or whatever else, a lot of the content creators and the fans that follow them, they go right along with that. You know, so that's what happens, man. And what I don't like, also, kind of off topic, is that a lot of y'all aspire to be just like, you know, the oppressors and the people that really just use us before they come up. A lot of people be having so much to say about Smelly Setback, Vlad TV, and shit like that. But what I see a lot of these podcasters and um these, these new up and coming black YouTube channels, you know what they doing? A lot of them is doing the same shit, the same formula, right? But you know, putting your own little spin on it. You know, you can't hate on somebody for what they doing and then do the same thing. And what I'm saying is that all I see is a lot of y'all just promoting a bunch of drama. That's it. You know, I'm really sick of seeing um these so-called people in the culture, podcasters, act like they being productive in the culture when they not. You know, when all they want to do is talk about controversial shit and drama. You know, y'all go on Club Shay Shay and he sit over there with tight ass pants and his legs crossed, asking y'all, "So why was you beefing with this? Why was you beefing with him?" You know, that's it. That's what this shit done turned into, man. You know, a bunch of nigga Vlads, you know, and Negro Ellies, man. So it's disgusting work out here, man. And that's why I like when Bud Crawford, when he sees somebody like Ellie Setback, see with his character and what he represents, he flipped him off. Like it's like, bro, fuck you. You've been hating on me since the Spence fight, even before that. You know, you got these cornballs, you know, like Smelly Setback, who was still trying to glaze Canelo, talking about, hey, I actually had you winning by 2 rounds. I had you actually winning the fight. You know, it's really it's like insane to me to see how lost a lot of Canelo's fans are, fanatics are, man. You know, this man can tell y'all, look, man, we have to accept the truth, man. We have to accept this, man. We lost, y'all. He got to say we because he know y'all are some of the most emotional fanatics in all the sports. It's really a sad day when Canelo has to tell y'all, we lost, y'all. We have to accept this, okay? No excuses. When the truth is, there is no excuses, man. But denial, envy. But at the end of it all, Bud showed his character, man. I don't hate you. You know, I just wanted the opportunity to prove that I'm the best of this era. I told you I was the best of the era, and now everybody believe it. You know, he said he was the best of the era when he fought Spence. Then you know what happened when he beat Spence? All of a sudden, Spence ain't nobody. He's nobody now. So I dare y'all try to say Canelo's a nobody. I dare y'all. I mean, with the IBFP Army and the rest of y'all, I know y'all not gonna go down that path, are y'all? Because y'all made y'all damn fucking y'all walk to fame. Y'all claim the fame off Canelo. So I hope y'all not taking that path. You know, you might as well retire if you're doing that. But I tell you, man, Bud represents the best in North America, man. You know, not just fighting ability, but also character, man. His character, he's a good dude. And the people in the comment sections and all that, you know, a lot of Canelo's fans realize it now. Like, man, this is a good dude, man. You know, he came up to Canelo Alvarez's weight class, didn't try to put no restrictions on him, didn't try to dehydrate him, you know, none of that. Fair and square, put them hands on him, bro. Boxed him, you know, and that's why Canelo can look him in the eye, shake his hand, and tell him, you know, you're a true champ. You won this fight. We're gonna accept this loss. That man is good. That man is really good. And it take a real man to say that. So I respect Canelo for that part. You know. Um, my views on him is that I feel you know, he's not all that as a fighter, you know. And I didn't like all of the help and assistance he got for his, you know, throughout his career, because I just started with some sucker shit. You know, I like somebody who get it from the mud, like Bud Crawford, but that's just me. But at this point, you know, I still like the fact that, you know, he showed sportsmanship in class, instead of just being somebody in denial. You know, I've seen people in denial, crying and shit after fights. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, um, Tank, I got grease in my eye. I'm trying to tell y'all that. Faggots, man, in boxing, bro. Who else, man? Dudes just be making all type of disgusting excuses why they get their ass whooped. Instead of just being a man and say, he was the better man that night. You know, and I'm glad Canelo did that. I'm glad some of Canelo's fans understand now the true character, you know, of one of us, man. The true character of one of us, man. About that life, but at the same time, we not no hateful people, man. Bud ain't no motherfucking hateful person. He not no racist person. He got Hispanic people in his camp. He got white bodyguards. He got all kind of shit going on where he got love for everybody. He got, I think, a white publicist, you know, all around people's champ, all around great man, great American. And he represents the best of us, man. He represents greatness, all around, you know. And hopefully, going forward, a lot of y'all have that mentality. Y'all not just out here blindly supporting these athletes and ignoring the character. It's really dumb to do that because I think the character, when you do that, when you ignore their character, then when they get matched up with somebody who character is really, what I'm saying, got their shit together, then you're gonna probably lose some money because you're gonna be so invested. Like, oh, man, this dude right here, he won this, he won that, his resume this, he resume that, you know. But leading up to this, a lot of people saying that, Canelo, he's not as hungry as he used to be. He's been getting pampered pretty much. Everybody, hey, come on, commemorative belt this, commemorative belt that, increasing clenbuterol levels, franchise this, let's cherry pick here, cherry pick this. So it's just like, and then you seen a guy who been getting doubted and shit on his whole career, coming off his biggest win, and people still acting like he wasn't nobody. It's just like, all right, whatever, man. All right, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna make sure y'all crying after the fight. You know, you told him, you said, I guarantee, I promise you, I'm gonna take his belts, and he did that. You know, so to be honest with you, man, it be in some of y'all's best interest to just don't hate. That's fuel, man. Especially somebody like a Bud Crawford, black man who come from nothing. It's in your best interest to just not even give him fuel. He already dealing with a lot. He already know the world is against him. He already know people hating on him, you know. And then leading up to the prize, you want to keep talking shit. Okay, that's the worst mistake. You know, if anything, if you want to weaken somebody like a Bud Crawford fanboy, send a bunch of fanboys his way and try to say, "Oh, you're the best fighter in the world." Send Smelly Setback over there. Then it'll probably really fuck Bud up, even though Bud don't fuck with him. But you want to fuck up somebody, one of us, send that bullshit energy because some of them weak and they'll go for that. You know, shout out to Mr. T, man. He beat the system. Bro, that's a hell of a comment right there, Mr. T. Man, I wish I could pin that, but that's in the live chat feed. But nigga, that's the real comment right there, dog. He said people don't walk or run with you to the finish line, but they'll damn sure run up to you after you finish. Let me see. Let me move up. After you cross it. Bro, that is real talk. That's real talk right there, man. A lot of people not willing to do that, man. They not willing to go that whole journey and walk with them and run with them, man, to the finish line. Take the shots with them. You know what I'm saying? Take the criticism with them. You know. So yeah, man. What's up, Saul? Good morning, bro. Like I said before, Canelo's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. He's a true champion. I take nothing from him. Like I said before, Canelo's a hell of a fighter. Hell of a fighter. But it's in the new game. Plus, it's a new game plus mode. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm using the cell phone, so I gotta zoom in. These words little as shit. Shout out to Saul, man. That's a Canelo supporter. He talking about Bud is the man. So yeah, man. So yeah. Shout out to Bud gaining new fans, new supporters. It may not be fans, but respect. He's gained respect. And yeah, man. I think that's better. He don't need no fanboys. He ain't need a whole bunch of supporters, but he got respect all over, man. You know. And I've seen that. That's one thing I have seen is that people respect Bud Crawford in multiple countries, man. Multiple countries they respect Bud Crawford. I know definitely in Russia. I know definitely in Ukraine. Definitely Mexico now, and most definitely in North America, man. You know, it's just unfortunate that it wasn't a greater percentage of us supporting Bud Crawford like that. You know, I was in a small percentage of people supporting Bud Crawford, but most of them was supporting Tank and Spence, and this whole shit with America. It's like if it's got they got to pick one or the other and shit. You know, it should be weird, man. It's just like y'all got an issue with you know supporting Bud. We wanted to support Spence, but had an issue with Bud Crawford. Like, why y'all got an issue with Bud Crawford for? Like, what is it, man? And then that's when I learned about all this fanboy shit. Damn, y'all niggas are moist. You know what I mean? Like, you want this man to win so bad. So you want to just create this barrier between Spence and Bud and say, you're on the wrong side of the street and you want to help Spence be protected. Like, this is gay. So yeah, man. I'm glad Bud didn't need no fruitcake fans like that to get him to the top and help him, get through and to get clout and stuff like that. So now people's reaching out to Bud Crawford. I'm sure his text messages, his DMs and call log is full of people just trying to get interviews and trying to get, ask him questions about, hey man, so what was it? This, that, and the third, what happened in this round? And yeah, I bet. I bet now. But before that, did y'all have that same energy like that? You know? But Bud he's a nice guy, so he gonna go around, he gonna make his rounds and give people their views and all of that stuff. The ones that, that wasn't really on no Ellie Sucks type of level. Espinosa the Weasel is sick right now. Crawford completely derailed him and Al Haymon's plan. Yeah, man. Bro, that's what I'm saying, man. I did a video on this last week. Like, I don't know what the hell type of situation them dudes had with Al Heyman that call Al shit. But all they plans that they had to freeze out Bud and all that, you know. How about now? What y'all think now, man? PBC, you know. And I seen Thurman over there, When I see these guys like Errol Spence now, I say, by the way, y'all, I'm rooting for Bud. Shut up. Y'all did all of these years of sucker shit, hating on him, talking about he ain't fought nobody, he on the wrong side of the street. Now y'all fans. I seen Keith Thurman over there. Um, the boy did it. Like, God, look, y'all, shut up. Shut your receiver line up having ass up, man. Nobody want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear nothing from PBC. I definitely don't want to see no Jamel Charlo coming out talking about, oh man, that was a great shut up. Your Kaepernick ass, man. Taking knees and shit in boxing rings. Shut up. Don't say nothing about Bud Crawford's victory. Don't even comment on the fight. Shut up. That's how I feel about them PBC side people, man. The PBC fans, the PBC fighters. Shut that shit up. It's disgusting the way y'all hated on this black man. Y'all in the same country, and y'all treated this man like he was from like Antarctica or Australia or some shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you Negroes, man? So yeah, man. I was gonna really kind of keep it, real calm and nice, like Bud is being lady with y'all. But flaming shame, man. Not to the Hispanics and white folks, flaming shame to the black fans that was shitting on Bud all of this damn time. You motherfuckers disgust me. I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let another man get in involved with y'all supporting another American black man who came from the mud, the American dream, for real. And y'all shitted on this man the whole time, you know. So that's why when I fell out with a lot of them people, I was like, good, nigga. You know, I ain't liking y'all motherfuckers anyway. The way y'all hating. Y'all got issues. What's popping, dog? He said Bud versus Thurman. Man, hell nah. Fuck no. You know, he gonna get that same treatment. WB no and all that, you know. He ain't fought nobody lately. He coming off a Brock Jarvis knockout. Who the fuck is Brock Jarvis? You know. And you got Sebastian Fedora problems, Keith. You know. Hold on. Let me upload this right quick. Hold up. Let's put Light Bright on the screen. Chief Keef. Should take forever to load though. There we go. Let's put Chief Keef Thurman on the screen, man. And all of a sudden you want to give a expert breakdown of what Bud Crawford did to beat Canelo. Shut your whole ass up. Damn, boy, I'll tell you, man. Whoo-wee. It's been crazy this whole process, seeing these disgusting haters over there on that side, man. Everybody that was associated with that, man. Disgusting work, bro. That's what disgusts me more than anything. I expected racists to be racist. That's normal. We get it. Other people, people on the outside always gonna hate on black people. That's normal shit. But the way some of y'all black people was hating on Bud just for wanting to smoke, you know, just for wanting to step on Spence, or just for wanting to beat up Keith, for wanting to smack up everybody on that PBC side. Y'all got a problem. Y'all hating because of that? Because he wanted to fight Jermell Charlo? Yeah, sissies, man. Straight up sissies, bro. Earl was at least man enough to go against Al's plan and fight Bud when they wanted him to fight Thurman and then Canelo. That's a fact, bro. That is a fact. You know, that is an absolute fact. You know, and I actually seen a clip. It was like a YouTube short that came down my timeline yesterday, where Spence was doing an interview on the Pivot podcast, and they asked him about Canelo, and he actually he shut that shit down. He's like, you know what, man, I'm 100%, to be honest with you, I'm 100% focused on Terrence Bud Crawford. He said they even tried to throw the Keith Thurman fight at me and all this stuff. No, Terrence Bud Crawford. That's what I want. And I can't knock Errol Spence for his effort. You know, he at least tried to become an undisputed welterweight champion. So I do give him that credit, because he could have swerved him, because it's definitely his fans wanted him to swerve Bud Crawford. Al Heyman and them, Showtime, they all wanted him to swerve Bud Crawford because they was trying to milk Spence, man. They want to milk Spence for everything that they can get out of him. They was treating Spence like one of the cows that he got on his own farm and shit. They wanted to milk him, you know. And I seen the play. I knew motherfuckers really didn't like, they don't love no Errol Spence. They was using Errol Spence, man. A lot of people used Errol Spence, you know. And Errol just, fed into all that bullshit and thought he started feeling himself. Yeah, I am the boogeyman. I am the boogeyman. I'm the big fish. I'm like, bro, which one are you, man? You let these fools give you 8 nicknames. Pick one, please. Okay? I'm the big stepper. I'm the big fish. I'm the boogeyman. Man. Thurman's about to get mauled. You gotta fight Dawson, man. Street Fighter and shit. Robo Keith, man. Hell yeah, RoboCop hairline. Facts. Fedora finna push that hairline back 2 more inches, man. Ain't gonna even be a hairline no more. Yeah, he gonna be on this George Jefferson It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Now, Bud pretty much came out of his fight clean versus Canelo. He went up 2 weight classes. Let's see if Keith, light skinned ass go out of his fight clean. We'll see. That'll be impressive. If Keith Thurman can exit that Sebastian Fundora fight with no marks, I'll be impressed. But I think he's gonna get his ass whooped. But to be honest with you, Fundora not all that either. You know, he's just a tall, skinny, um, retired street fighter. He used to, he was Dawson back in the day. Now he's changed his shit up. What's up, Charles? He on his new shit. So he's Sebastian Fundora now. But yeah, former street fighter turned boxer who can't use his feet no more, just hands. So he gonna be throwing long jabs. That'd be funny if Fundora throw the double jab, 2 jabs at one time, land right on top of Keith's forehead or 5 head. Bloop. That'd be some shit. But yeah, man, that was one of the most disgusting thing to witness when I seen Keith giving his breakdown of Bud and Spence. I mean Bud and Canelo. I was like, shut up. You know what I mean? Shut up. Slender man. Yeah, man. Flame Shane Keith. Um, Fedora need to make a bet with Keith. You know, he should be like, if I win, you have to shave all your hair off, man. We're sick of your hairline. So if I win, you cutting all that shit off. And not only that, you got to cut all your facial hair and your eyebrows. Can you picture that? Keith, no facial hair and bald head. Damn. He'd be like probably look like one of Common's cousins or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, I got to keep getting his ass whooped. I haven't done an actual breakdown prediction video on that yet. And then what you call it? We got also Devin Haney, Brian Norman fight coming up pretty soon as well. So I gotta actually see what date that is. Cause there's still some fights, man, coming up, y'all. I know a lot of people put their heart and soul on this last fight with Bud and Canelo. Y'all know us, man, over here. We don't care. We watch scraps all the time, man. So we ain't just worry about one fight throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter from Pro Box to Netflix. We watching all that shit, all in between. Pause. But yeah, man. Oh, and also too, man. I was talking about that PBC disgusting work and all how Anyway, but and y'all seen what happened with the AB or whatever, and that's why I'm not even trying to make a headline out of that shit because I just hate seeing it. How you know that's be the most shit. Like, Bud Crawford just had this historical weekend, and then next thing you know, AB shows up drunk on somebody's podcast. Like, bro, what the? It's just be crazy, man. It just be crazy that like dudes just can't just chill out for maybe a weekend and get inspired. I thought like Bud Crawford's victory might inspire some of these fools to just change their life around. Like, damn, man, I've been bullshitting. This man and fucking jumped up 2 weight classes. He's on top of the sport. You know what I mean? And what was Crawford's statement? He said anybody can be a nobody or some shit, man. They keep calling him a nobody, man. So, I like how you be flipping game on them, man. That November card is cooked crack. LOL, I don't think you like Keith. I just don't like fake shit. Keith is fake, bro. That whole shit. Like, I'm just talking about how all of them been treating Bud this whole time, and now they want to act like they fans, act like they all of a sudden, oh, you know what? Bud is a great fighter. He's one of the greatest of our era. Now y'all want to start saying that? Like, come on, dog. Nasty work, man. Saul said my soul left with Canelo. Thanks, bud. Thanks a lot, bud. I am officially in the afterlife, bud. Thanks, bud. That's funny, bro. Yeah, man. Shout out to the boxing fans who have a sense of humor, man. Shout out to Soul, man. That's why I'm cool with him, man. Because this shit is not that. Is we don't take the shit that serious. We have serious discussions and topics and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, man, it ain't that deep for us. AB had all the help in the world. He chooses to operate at a lower frequency. I don't pity him. I'm with you too, bro, Mr. T. But yeah, I mean, I somewhat feel sorry for him, and because it's just like it's embarrassing, bro. It's really embarrassing. But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you're bringing this on yourself. The way Cam did it, I was like, damn, bro. And then when I seen the deleted scenes, it was like he gave him multiple chances. He gave him multiple warnings. Like, look, bro, look, man, I asked you, and that's the thing about it. You got to know when to turn the funny and the goofy off, man. Can we, can some of y'all learn from the AB shit? Like, learn to turn the goofy off, man. Some of y'all play too much. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's a time and a place. It's a time and a place to show up drunk. You know, if you ain't at the kickback or the club or whatever that you go to, don't just be showing up drunk at somebody else's professional establishment, man. They got a podcast that they doing sports early in the morning. They invite you. They're gonna pay you to show up and talk sports or your upcoming fight or whatever you got going on, and you want to talk about their co-host and be drunk. Stupid shit. What? Another former PBC fighter. You know, you know. So when I started flaming them motherfuckers, you know, you seen all the fanboys that wanted to defend it and acting like it was something wrong with me. No, y'all see the way you see what type of shape he in now? When they had an issue with us flaming Errol Spence for hanging out with AB, I'm like, bro, Spencer's hanging with AB? Shit, I was bringing the flame of shame out then. I said, oh, nah, bro, this is not good. Man, stop hating on that man lifestyle, man. Stop hating. He can enjoy his life. He can have a drink. Yeah, okay. All right. A few moments later, flips out his Ferrari. Dumbasses out here, man. Stop listening to these dummies, man. I was like, okay, man, I get it. It's just a bunch of dummies. I have to really pick and choose who to affiliate with because it's more dummies in the population than it is intelligent, you know what I'm saying? Sound-minded people. That's just a fact. Y'all see all these so-called quote unquote experts online, how they doing damage control. I was just like, wow. If you put Keith Thurman in the ring with a sandwich, I'm rooting for the sandwich. Damn. Same with Tank goofy ass. He started talking wild shit on Crawford after he beat Canelo. Yeah, I heard that too. All those old disgruntled, you got something that's still disgruntled and envious, man. Like Tank is almost like when I see somebody like a Tank, not like I said earlier, I know there's racist people that hate on us and envious, but when I see one of our own like that, like Tank, hating on Bud, bro, you worse to me. You are worse, bro. Like somebody need to slap fire at you, bro. Straight out. You know what I mean? Like you are on like you're on your bitch tour. Okay, ducking your rematch with Lamont Roach. You got a fight scheduled with a influencer, Jake Paul, and you have the nerve to speak on Bud? Yeah, man. You want to talk about somebody running? Make sure you ain't running versus Jake Paul. You better hope that shit don't happen. You better stand right the fuck there and chunk 'ems with Jake Paul, dog. No movement, none of that slick shit. Don't use no boxing at all with Jake Paul, since you got a problem with Bud boxing. Bro. Yeah, man. Out here partying with the fans, drinking and clubbing with the fans, doing dumb shit. Tank a certified idiot. Yep. He said he tried to pretend he wasn't talking about Crawford. Yeah, man. And I'm sure there's still a lot of whole ass motherfuckers that gonna support him and say, "Oh yeah, man, tank this, tank that." You know, Bud went up in weight. Is going up and went up in weight and dethroned the quote unquote face of boxing. You know, Tank is going up to fight Jake Paul. So it just tell you, man, like the difference. You see what Bud went up to do, the historical shit that Bud is doing, and you seen the clown shit that Tank is doing. You seen the clown shit that Floyd is about to do. You know, him and Tyson, or if that happens, clown shit. Different leagues. So we can understand when you're on some little champ shit. Of course, you feel some way about somebody who's on some big champ shit. So yeah, man, that's long enough. That's my little rant. I didn't expect it to go that long, but hey, I just want to give some credit to Bud and the Flame, and show y'all, man, that Bud Crawford's character is what makes him great. It ain't just his fighting ability, but it's his character as well, and his hunger. People keep telling, all the time people were saying that you're not this, you're not that, you don't deserve it. Your belt, we don't fight for that belt. You're on the wrong side of the street. Your promoter is a white man and all of this other stuff. And the man put himself in a position to where it's undeniable. You can't deny me because the money's on my side, and if you don't fight me, you're just a ducker. So Bud checkmated the whole game. He really did. Facts, no comparison. That's all I got for this one, man. I appreciate all y'all that pulled up, man. The ones that's been supporting the Black Horseman all this time and supporting this channel, UDC Flame. It's in Mountain versus Molehill. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all that have been supporting all this time, man. And, always support the realest. That's all I do. I support the realest. So until the next time, man, y'all stay tuned. Like I say, we got some great fights also still coming up on the back end of this year. And I'm just looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. And hopefully this great historical weekend that we just witnessed inspires many, not just in America, but all over, to just, keep your head down. And when people is shitting on you, hating, just work harder. Work harder. And when you get that opportunity, shock the world, leave it all out in the ring and and show everybody what they've been missing out on. And that's exactly what Bud did. When he got that opportunity, he showed everybody why he claimed this to be his era. He proved it. So that's all I got for this one, man. I'm the Black Horseman. Shout out to the one that called the Playback Gang. We out.